So the purpose of this video is to show you how we bought a house, nothing down. That's right, we didn't have to give the seller any money at closing. Now that's not to mean that the seller's not going to get any money eventually. He just didn't get money right at the closing when we bought it. I need to show you this so I can reframe your visual and your perspective on what it looks like to actually go out there and buy a house, okay? There's so many ways to do this, and we're gonna showcase it right now. So I just finished fixing up this property. We're gonna sell it. We just listed it on the market. But today's video, I want to show you the before and after, what the property looked like when we bought it. I want to show you how we acquired it. I didn't use any of my credit. Very little cash. In fact, I didn't even go get a loan on this one. I didn't even borrow any money on this one. I didn't turn in my tax returns, no bank application, no credit score, no appraisal, none of that stuff. I'm gonna show you how we bought it and consequently take you back to the office so we'll go over all the numbers. You can see the profit, how much interest we're paying, what we're hopefully gonna sell it for, what we bought it for, all the moving parts inside, so you can get out there and deploy some of these strategies in your real estate business to build a portfolio or just buy a house for you and your family to live in. Let's do it. Okay, class, it's Chris Haskins with therealestateroundup.com. My mission and ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. Thank you for working with me today, my beautiful daughter, Taylor. So this one here, I believe we paid, I don't even know, 213 something thousand for it. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. If you're watching, my friend, thank you so much for participating in this deal. We bought this subject to the existing financing, the subject to, what does that mean? All I did was step in and take over the seller's mortgage payments. So the exterior looks really good. The roof was good to go. Windows are good. Taylor, anything you see out here we need to go over? No. You give him a pan already? Okay, cool. So let's do this. Let's see what we got in here. So we just painted the door black, I believe. I don't think it was black before. So we're walking in, you see the floor was already in great shape. We did have to do this bathroom, put a new toilet, new vanity, new mirror in there. So you'll see what that looks like on the before. I'll flash back some before and after so you see what it looks like. So this is our bathroom. Come over here, give them a nice pan there. I'm sorry, our kitchen. This is the kitchen. The kitchen we have. This is quartz. For some reason, Ron has decided to start using quartz in our bathrooms. Here's black. You know, black is the new thing. Black is in right now. We've got gray cabinets. And he uses these 6-inch fixtures here, all stainless steel appliances. And we got lucky, we were able to keep the refrigerator. We had to do new flooring in here too. I think it was old tile in here. So we got my new deck. That cost me a pretty penny. Decks have really gone up. We'll show you some before on that also. This is the dining room. We did nothing in here. What we thought about what we were going to do was take this wall out so that the kitchen would have a bar. You could look into the dining room. Look into the kitchen from the dining room. Most people like that. It has that great room feel, but it just would have taken our budget up too high. This is the living room. Flooring was all good through here. We got super lucky with that. So go upstairs. We did have to do new carpet. That was a pretty penny, $2,000. One of the secrets we did with this frog, which is called a finished room over the garage, we turned this into a bedroom. So if you see the before pictures, there's no closet here. We actually framed in a closet. So now you can use this as a bedroom. So it's an official 4-bedroom now. Or is it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't even know. We'll see in a minute. The communal bathroom looks good. We had to do new toilet, new vanity, but we did a glazing on the shower there. See, it looks brand new. Tub glazing. Glazing the showers and tubs will save you about $2,000 on the demo. It just turns the entire thing white. This is just a bit. Oh man, look at that fan. Oh. We stepping it up, ain't we? Oh man, what is that? Look at that, Taylor. That looks sexy. I never seen a fan like that. You know what? That probably came with the house. I can't believe Ron would do that. I can't imagine. This looks like more what Ron's style is right here. So we got black hardware, black lights, and this is a beautiful bathroom. We didn't do anything in here. I think we might have had to do the floor, but you can see the seller did the bathroom before we bought it. We got a little lucky with that. And they did the shower too. Black fixtures. Looks really good. So we really got super lucky with that, with this bathroom here. This is where those shoes were, I believe. They're gone. Oh, yeah. They're definitely gone. Sorry. So the roof was good. Windows were good on this one. I can't remember. We'll go, in fact, let's go head over to the office and go over the numbers so you see how much we paid for the renovation and how we acquired, how did we set up the financing. Let's do it. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that tour there. You see some of the before and after. It's really cool how these properties come together and the magic of buying it creatively and doing a subject to deal and nothing down. Let me tell you, this is a nothing down deal. We actually, when we bought this property, all I had to do was pay for closing costs, which is running me about $5,000. Now, when we say nothing down, that simply means nothing to the seller at that time. However, when I sold the property, when we're going to sell it, the seller's going to get $36,000 at the sale. So that's another way you can do nothing down deals. You can agree, you can ask the seller if they'll take some of their profit on the back end, or take all their profit on the back end, because the property needed more work than we thought. So let's get into the numbers. Once again, this is a subject to flip. So I wanted to buy it and hold it long-term subject to. And what does subject to mean? That merely means we come in and we take over the seller's or the homeowner's mortgage payments. We don't qualify for a new loan. We don't assume the loan. We don't put our name on their credit. We merely continue making the mortgage payments to the seller's loan company, okay? So it's real simple. Now, I did a full training on that. It's in the video description if you want to see exactly how we do it step by step. But let me show you what it looks like on paper. So here's the HUD-1 settlement statement, and you can still use HUDs if you don't have a lender involved. So letter D, you can see we always put our properties inside of a trust. We never use our LLC, and we never put them in our name, right? Property address. So the purchase price was $240 when we bought it. But I want you to see what that looks like on paper. So just because you got numbers here doesn't mean you have to come up with the money, all right? So then we scroll down here, you can see line 208. It says subject to. So we're taking, I don't know why they didn't put that on line 203. It says existing loans taken subject to. It's right there on the HUD, but for some reason he put it down here. So his loan was $223,500, $512. That's the loan that we actually took over. So we just rounded up, made the purchase price $224. What up, roundup homies? I hope you are enjoying today's video. So listen, if you're anything like me, I got sick and tired of worrying, begging and praying that banks would finance me to be able to buy my next house, much less build a real estate empire, right? So I put together my complete subject to training module. It's in the video description below. If you don't know how this works, I want you to let today be the last day that you worry about whether you will be able to buy a piece of real estate. Because when you buy subject to, you don't have to worry about the bank approving you, okay? So my subject to lease option training is in the video description. And if you kind of know how all this works, but all you need is the documents to set it all up, that's extremely important. Without the documents, you won't be able to close one of these. That video is down below. That link is down below as well. All right, so whichever level you are, we can help you. I want you to get out there and buy your next piece of real estate, okay? Let's get back to our video. This is what it looks like when you're doing these deals, y'all. So you gotta know this stuff. It's not like I'm in here doing illegal things or breaking the law and doing all this shady stuff. It's right there in writing. As long as your seller agrees, that's a magic. Whenever your buyer and the seller agree, the world is at your fingertips. Oh man, it's amazing. So purchase price $224. If you see the last video when I first bought it, because I do videos on these houses before and after, you can go right here to see the beginning video and kind of see what my numbers, what I thought the numbers were going to be. And then my business partner and I have to calculate all this stuff when we're getting ready to get out of these properties. So the reno I thought was going to be $25K, ended up being $35,000. Yikes, it's always more. That's one thing you have to learn about doing real estate. Things always cost more. Not one time, well, maybe once, did I do a piece of real estate and the budget came in below what I thought it was going to be. Probably came in lower because I over budgeted, I overpriced stuff. So the reno was $35,000, but it's a beautiful house. So what do? The monthly payments, we took over them were $1,635, and that included taxes and insurance and principal, right? So that was everything rolled up. So I don't have to worry about paying interest when we sell it at the end. The ARV on this one, I thought it was going to be 330, 340. My business partners corrected me. I'm always low. ARV with this one was worth 370,000. All right, now hard costs. Hard costs. Please pay attention here. Hard costs roughly going to run you 10%. Now, what is that, Chris? Why do you want to pay? Why? I don't want to pay hard costs. Neither do I. I don't want to pay to sell these properties, but it's called cost to sell. Cost to sell. Generally speaking, realtor fees on a $370,000 house going to be $22,000. Yikes, that's a lot of money. You must build all that in on the buy. All right, so people, a lot of homeowners and sellers don't understand why we have to buy such at a deep discount. Well, this is why. We must pay whether I pay the realtor fee or you pay the realtor fee, Miss Smith, when we sell it, somebody's got to pay a realtor. And yes, it's realtor, not realtor. Oh, Lord, help me. So the realtor fee is 22 grand. Luckily, we use something called a flat fee broker, and we're able to chop that in half. So we still paid 11,000 on this. We have to pay the agent to bring us a buyer. So hard costs, realtor fees, interest on the money. Luckily, I paid that over time with the monthly payments. I'm gonna have to pay the taxes, insurance, and utilities. Taxes, insurance were included in here, but I'm still having to pay them. So that is an expense, right? Utilities, maintenance, upkeep, all that stuff. But here's the biggie, closing costs. Now, before 2018, we were paying closing costs for the buyer. All right, so what is that? That's when your buyer comes to buy your property. They come along, they look at the property, they love your property, but they just don't have enough money to do a down payment and pay for all the fees, the junk fees that the lender and the city and the state that are going to charge them to buy the property. It's crazy. It's just real estate. So we agreed to pay 2.5% for the buyer's closing costs. So that added up to be about $9,000. So instead of us paying 22 plus 9, we only had to pay 11 plus 9, which is roughly $20,000. So it is extremely important for you to understand how flat fee brokers work. It's going to save you a ton of money over time. And then don't forget, which I didn't even put here, I had to pay closing costs to buy this house, roughly $5 grand, and then I had to pay closing costs for me to sell it. So I'm paying closing costs to buy and sell, and for the buyer. I mean, it's crazy, all type of money that I'm just giving away during these transactions, but we've built it in to our purchase price. This is why our price has to be so low to make these things work. And instead of paying our seller the $36,000 profit that we agreed to when I negotiated with him at closing when I bought it, he agreed to actually loan it to me he loaned it to us while we held on to the property, and then we'll pay him when we sold the property, right? So his profit was $36,000. We had to realize that at the closing table when we sold it. So he's a happy guy. If you're watching here, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for working with us. And when I showed up to the guy's house, this is so cool. Like, I never know whether a homeowner is a follower or they're a subscriber or they know me or not. Sometimes I show up and they hate my guts. They're like, you're the guy that's taking advantage of people on the internet and all this stuff. But this guy, when I showed up, he actually gave me a hug. He goes, round up family. The guy hugged me when I showed up, man. So that was cool. He relocated and I hope he's doing well. So our profit was roughly $40,000. How did I come up with that? It's gonna be our ARV, back out purchase price, back out the reno, which is over what I thought, back out 4 months of payments, which is $6 grand roughly, back out $11,000 for realtor fees. We got $9,000 for closing costs, back out my closing costs to buy and sell, and back out the seller's profit, all that. And that's where we come up with our 40K. Now, keep in mind, hard costs is going to cost you roughly 10% of this deal. So when you look at a house that's worth $370,000, just keep in your mind, you're going to have almost $40,000 of expenses that are going to be costs just to sell this thing. All right. Now, we stopped paying closing costs for the buyer during the pandemic and all that stuff, 2020, 21, and 22. That was the seller's market. I didn't have to do anything. But now we're getting back to a normal market and I'm having to help the buyers get me out of these properties. So we have to build that into our purchase prices. So all of you out there that are interested in selling, make sure you understand. You have to compensate for people that are doing transactions in this thing because all the money's just not flowing like it was back in the day a few years ago. So just keep that in mind. 10, and it could be 11%. You never know. You're going to have 10 to 11% on cost to sell. All right. Now, we saved a bunch of money on realtor fees because we had that flat fee broker. And if you want to know more about that, there's a video right there showing you how to find a flat fee broker. So listen, if I've helped you at all, if you've enjoyed this video here, I pray the only way that I get this word out to my community is to share this. You got to get this word out so people understand subject to taking over somebody's loan payments. People understand that you can actually get into these properties with no money or low money down. People understand that you can actually use a flat fee broker to do these deals. You don't have to have a huge realtor fees every time you sell. So hit that share button with somebody that you know and love, or a friend that's getting into the business, and hit the subscribe button and the bell so you know whenever we go live. It is such an honor to be with you and hang out with you today, Round Up Homies. I thank you for voting my channel to be. We just passed 130,000 subscribers. I'll see you on the next video. Hit that like button. Peace.